Hey everyone. So did Tilta just fix my $350 problem for $29? That's the question. In June, I went to Disneyland with my Q3 28 millimeter. Somehow I scratched the paint off this edge here, and it was so faint, believe me. And I've said this in other videos. Some of you are going to think that was nuts. It's character, no big deal. And for me, I just spun out of control. This is insane. I need to fix it. I need to fix it now. I immediately from the hotel, when I noticed the scratch, I went down the rabbit hole of how do you fix it? Anyway, I ended up shipping the camera back to Leica. And this was their repair facility out in New Jersey. And they were awesome to deal with. They were so kind. They totally understood the freak out that I was having. And when I say freak out, it was more internal than external, but I was obviously disturbed by this. I'm like, can you fix it? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. Just send it in. Gave me the whole process for sending it in. They even offered to send me a replacement camera if I needed another Q3. And I declined that because I have other toys to take pictures with. And I'm not a professional photographer in any means. It did take a little while for them to get the camera back. I think it was maybe 2 months, which was soul crushing to not have this. But they did an amazing job. They replaced the entire top plate of the Q3. They cleaned the camera up. They made sure all the software was updated. And it's my understanding as well as they did some sort of calibration or something like that on it just to test everything that was in working condition. So that all in all was 2 months of time, let's call it, and about $350 worth of expense. So then I went down the next rabbit hole of how do you fix this problem so it doesn't happen again? So I reached out to Alpha Guards and I got one of their skins, and I didn't skin the entire camera, but I just wanted to skin the areas that were going to be prone to damage, which is this top plate here and then this side. They make a great product, by the way. It is laser cut. It fits perfectly. The only downside you're going to have is on the user error side of the equation. So the first time I put this on, I screwed it up, and I reached out to Alpha Guard and they were able to send me just the pieces that I screwed up on within a couple of days. So that was awesome. And I think it was only like $10 for the replacement pieces. So I got that all there, and it fits perfect and it looks really nice, but it just is different. It just feels like a vinyl wrap on a car. Like you could tell it's not paint. I'm happy with the Alpha Guard product. It just doesn't seem super durable, but I'm sure it would be fine. I happen to be in Southern California, and I had been kind of dealing with Tilta back and forth on another piece of equipment that I have. And I'm like, well, hey, I'm in the neighborhood. Let me just swing by. First of all, if you get a chance to go, it's a very small shop, but it's really cool inside. And I'll post a picture so you can see inside. They got all kinds of toys, and you probably want to spend hours there. But as I was milling around while they were looking for the part, I realized that they had pieces for the Q3, and that was interesting to me. And so the one piece that they had was this. Now, this is called the Top Protection Plate, and I think it's around $29 or something like that. It's made out of aluminum. It's really thin. It's padded on the underside, so with felt or something. And it's got their logo engraved at the top. And it also comes with a thumb plate. Now, I'll tell you what I did. I'm hiding it, but I'll tell you what I did in a moment. But for the price, let me go ahead and try it out. And I can't tell you how pleased I am with this. Now, I obviously put a Peak Design anchor on it. It's got an anchor hole here. But yeah, it is so cool. So the way this attaches to the camera is interesting. It has two attachment points. One is a tiny screw where your strap hole would be on the camera. And so this plate covers that. And then there's a little, you're not going to be able to see this on camera, but just a tiny, tiny, tiny screw. I think it's a T6. Don't quote me on that. But that will just screw into here. And then the main connecting point is your hot shoe cover. So you're going to replace the stock one that came with the Leica. And then this will actually secure this piece here. So you're going to get a new hot shoe cover, and that hot shoe cover is going to interact with this plate, and that's what's going to secure everything down and lock everything into place. There is no connection point on the right-hand side. If you're kind of pointing the camera this way, there's no connection on this side. All the connection points are on this side, and then your hot shoe cover. Now, here's what I did with mine. So I kind of customized mine a little bit. The non-modified grip, it's called, is a single piece of CNC aluminum, and there is a thumb grip or a thumb rest or whatever on the right side. It's very, very small, and I'll leave a picture of where you could see the original version, but it's very, very small. I wasn't a big fan of that because I used the Helium design grip with the built-in thumb rest. And for whatever reason, this thumb rest here feels so comfortable and perfect on your thumb. So I didn't want to get rid of that. Helium lets you take this plate off and the thumb rest off, and you can just put a regular plate on here. And then you theoretically could use the Tilta to solve for the top plate and your thumb grip. If you like that, don't modify it. If you're not using the Helium, then you can obviously not modify this. But because I'm using the Helium design grip, I didn't want to take this thumb grip off. Using a little bit of ingenuity and a pair of hedge trimmers, I cut the thumb grip off. And then I took a paint pen and just painted it so you wouldn't see the silver. But I could probably do a better job in sanding the rough parts off, but they really aren't going to interfere with anything. You're never going to come in contact with it. Just make sure that if you're going to cut something off, make sure that whatever you're leaving behind isn't going to interfere with any of the camera controls. And in this case here, they didn't. So it fits right around the shutter speed wheel. And so that is perfect. So let me go ahead and put this on, and then we'll kind of talk about it just a little bit more. Okay, so now we have the plate installed. Again, there's one screw right here that's so small, and then you have your hot shoe cover on the top, and that's what's holding everything in place. Obviously, it's made out of CNC machined aluminum, so it feels like your stock camera. There is some laser engraved logo lettering that you can't even see. I'll put some pictures. I'll take it outside and get some daylight shots so you can see the contrast here. But it really does look like an OEM piece, which is great. I think the weight on this is about 180 grams or so. It really does look great on here. They do give you, again, another anchor point because you're using the anchor point for that little screw. And where it really protects is that one area right here where I scuffed it. And some people say it could be from your camera strap and this thing rubbing against your paint. Well, now that's not going to be a problem. And I didn't take the Alpha Guard off either. I mean, that's on there. So I'm kind of double protected, but it just, I don't know. I'm really, really happy with it. The look and the feel and how this is going to protect this top plate is great. Now, can it protect all the areas here on the control side of the equation? Probably not so much, just because, you have a lot of controls here, and so they didn't CNC mill this whole thing out. I wish they would, though. That would be kind of cool. I don't see why they couldn't. And kind of looking at this now, you could theoretically come up with a plate that would also screw into this side as well, and then maybe give the option for a thumb grip or no thumb grip, because people are kind of picky about that. But for what they did and for the price of $29, I think, or $30, Like, this is going to pay for itself. Just pulling this thing in and out of your bag, taking it on trips, it's just going to be a really big help. So I did run into one problem, though, that I just want to make you aware of, and that's with the hot shoe. Now, if you're not into flash photography, then this is going to be a non-issue for you. But because this is holding the plate on, you're going to have to obviously take the hot shoe cover off. Okay, that's not a big deal. And you can see this hot shoe cover is pretty thick. The reason why it's so thick is because now you're increasing the thickness between the hot shoe and the top plate. The problem I encountered is with the IT30 Pro flash. So I did a video not too long ago about, can you use an IT30 on the Leica Q3? The answer is yes, and there's a couple different ways to do it. The problem, though, is because this is so low profile and you're increasing the height of this plate, you don't have enough clearance. The IT30 can't get under it because this is so slim. Now, Godox does make a riser, and if you use the riser, which just clicks in here, then you could see there's a lot more room, and this now has no problem connecting to the Leica. And the nice thing about the riser too is it allows you to bounce this thing anywhere you want now. You can position the flash anywhere you want. So it's probably just a really good little thing to have. It's really inexpensive as well, but that solves that problem. Now, for those of you that are using the X3L trigger, this has no problem. It just fits in here perfect and works perfect. So if you are using a remote system, you're not going to have a problem with this whatsoever. So I did test both of those things out. But that was the only downside that I was able to find. So it cost me, let's say, $30 for the Tilta plate, and I don't know, maybe another 30 for this little riser. And I'll leave the links down below so you can get to them. But you will need this if you're into flash photography. I can't tell you if it's like every flash, because I've only have experience with this little IT30. So other flashes might work just fine. You'll have to test them out yourself and see. I'm really happy with this. And the reason why I made this video is because I started seeing other people asking the same questions when their cameras are damaged for whatever reason. I think one person, their camera got knocked down off a table and it landed on that little edge and dented it. That's not going to happen with this. I mean, other things will break, but it won't be at least that top plate. I'm trying to keep this camera as pristine as I possibly can. And this really helps with that. So I hope you found this to be helpful. Thank you so much. Links, if I can find them, are going to be down below. And again, we'll talk soon. Take care.